I'm going to be showing you how to find the perfect supplier for your business idea on 1688. I know in this world of digitalization, everybody's using their phones. So I'm going to be showing you two ways to do it. One is with your mobile phone and one is with a desktop laptop. I personally prefer the desktop because it has more filtering options, more functionality, but because everyone's used to using their phone, I'm also going to show you how to do it with your phone. So the first step for the best results is to actually open an Alipay account. So you need to have an Alipay account and you can simply sign up with having a phone number. It has to be a SIM card phone number. I haven't tested eSIM, that might work too. And you just simply put in your phone number, receive a one-time password and make an account. Why do I mention you need an Alipay account? Because this is what's going to make it easier for you to log in on 1688. Because once you're logged in, then you have more access to the features like reverse image search, more detailed filtering, ability to chat with suppliers. It is not 100% necessary, but it does help with the process, so you can skip getting an Alipay account, but I highly recommend you don't do so. Now, once you have an Alipay account, as mentioned before, I would always recommend using the desktop version, but we're going to open 1688 on the phone. So if you don't know what the app looks like, it looks like that. You can simply search 1688 just like that and find the right one. After you've downloaded 1688, you simply go into the app, go to the bottom right corner there, and then you should be able to log in. I'm already logged in, but if you don't have an option to log in, it's going to ask you to log in via Alipay. Actually, let me just show you how to do that right now. So once you're in the home page, you're going to go to My right there, and then you're going to see in the bottom left corner, you have the option to log in via Alipay. Go ahead and do that. And this is just to get your foot in the door with using 1688 instead of going through all the pain. Confirm and log in. Done. I'm logged in. Super easy, right? Now you have like access for everything on 1688. So that is step 2, being able to have access to 1688 after you have an Alipay. Step 3 in finding your perfect supplier is to evaluate the different search methods you can use when you're looking for a supplier. My personal favorite is the reverse image search. The keyword search in Chinese is another one. So there are ultimately 2 search methods that you can use to search products on 1688. I'm going to rank them from what I personally think is the best. I love the reverse image search, so you just simply take a snapshot and it uses the algorithm to detect the product. Or if you know specifically the niche of your product and you have the model number very clear, you can use a keyword search, but it must be in Chinese. Don't be trying to do it in English because it will most likely not find it unless you say maybe Apple 13 Pro or something like that. It's going to be very difficult for you to find it. So I'm going to be showing you both methods on how to search for a product. Now, once you're logged in, you're going to go to the home page here, and then here you can see there is a camera button. Now we're going to have a little bit fun with this, right? Because I'm going to show you on the phone first and then on the desktop version. So here, let's say I click on the camera and let's say I want to find Zidane, right? I just take a snapshot of what I want to find, and yeah, very different here. So that didn't work out too well, but I found one right here that's similar. And granted, this is just an example of an anime figure, so you may have some copyright issues, but let's say you're looking for a specific niche, maybe you're making your own anime figure or something like that, then you can at least talk to the supplier to see if they have the ability to do molding from scratch. And here you can see several things with a supplier. So now a couple things with the reverse image search. Once you have the reverse image search, it gives you options like this. Now clearly it confused this with a yellow hair but spike guy, and there's plenty, you see like Dragon Ball Z there and all that, so it's a lot of confusion. So maybe this is not a good example, so you might want to find a different or more clear picture. But I want to mention some key words when you're using the reverse image search. So you can see here, these are all the filtering options. This is super important because with the filtering options you can see, okay, I'm looking for a product, and again, you cannot translate this if you're using the mobile version, but I'm going to show you just because people usually use a mobile version. So if you're looking for a supplier that has marketing materials, or let's say you already have the product and supplier but you just need marketing materials, better to ask for permission. But just a pro tip here, you can filter by this one, which is essentially called Douyin. Usually these suppliers already have videos and all that you can download and use for your own marketing materials, but of course get the permission from the supplier. But a couple of key points here that I would filter by if I were looking for a supplier for the first time is can ship within 48 hours of it being purchased. So now you can see it narrows down more. So if you're on a time crunch and you're like drop shipping for real, you need to make sure they ship it quite quickly. If you need certain certifications like CE or anything like that, you can select on this one. See, I don't really prefer using this version because it's all in Chinese, and if you can't read Chinese, you're gonna have to be playing Google Translate all the time. Another one here is that this is the pricing. You can see a different price that it can be. If you can filter by price from high to low or low to high, you can see different different pricing models there if you want to include that. But once you're there and you say you find a supplier, let's say for that one, I want to find this one. They sell in 48 hours. They can ship it. An important point here is here you want to pay attention to the MOQ. So you can see the MOQ is 2 to 15 minimum order quantity. That's also important. And then you can chat with a supplier, add it to cart to have further inquiries about the specific product. But this already filter it down by the speed that they can ship it to and the certifications. Now that's about all you can filter it by when using the reverse image search on the app. But let's say if you're using the website, how can you do that? Going into the website, I'm going to go to 168. I'm going to log out so you know how to do the whole process from scratch. I'm already logged in my phone, right? Okay, here I can log in either username and password, but if you did everything on Alipay, you probably don't have a username and password, so you can do a QR code. Now, if you found value in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe for more sourcing tips from China. So what I'm going to do is on 1688, you would select this button right here to go ahead and scan the code. And you're going to verify it, and now you're logged in. Now, here's my favorite part, right? Now I'm going to go into the desktop version. So I just showed you simply how to do the mobile version, but I'm going to go in the desktop version of finding a product, a different product this time. If you're using Google Chrome, you can use Google Translate, right click, translate to English. And here you can see everything is in English. The UI is horrible, but you get my point. So I'm going to go to the home page. Right here is the home page if you get lost. And now I'm in the home page. I'm going to do the reverse image search. So last time we did cloud here. So now we're going to see if we can find like I'm going to use a snippet tool and we can find IoT product. I'm going to go a little bit more into detail because you can filter it more. So it has 3 gangs. I'm going to copy it. And so what makes it easy, you just simply go into the search bar, Control V, paste. So you can click here, Control V. And you see it already has permission. Well, if you gave it permission to have access to your clipboard. So if you simply click on the photo, you can click on search there. Now here's the fun part because there's a lot more filtering options available. I'm going to first translate everything to English. So here you can see there's more options to filter by. And that's why I prefer using the desktop version, right? So there's more options and I'm going to keep it in Chinese and you can translate it in English later because the UI is getting all messed up. There's more options to filter. So there's a 24-hour period of where they can ship the product after you've made the purchase. You can filter by that. Now another one, a cool one here is the MOQ. So you can see here, this is the MOQ as in the minimum order quantity. So you saw in the last example on the app is 2 to 15. This one just simply put 1. So you don't need to buy multiple. You see how it's getting further down into like the more suitable suppliers. If you go on Alibaba, a lot of the times these products, the MOQs are like 50, 60, 100. So it really helps you just buying one. You can also filter it by price. Now, this is an advanced tip. If you need certifications, it has the same certification here. You need to filter it by that, but I'm going to go deeper, right? You see how it's getting narrow, more narrow. Sometimes in the filtering options, it's not appearing in this one, but sometimes it has like here, it has the overseas experience, as in they have sold overseas before. That is also a pro tip. I think it's called, it's kind of hard to translate, but you want to look for something that says cross-border or 跨境, like cross-border, right? That's what you want to look for. Sometimes it shows up here. But another tip here is, now it might not work for this product, but you can filter it by location. Now, because I've already gone through a lot of filtering, there might not be an option, but let's say my freight forwarder or my shipping agent is in Shenzhen or Guangdong, then you can filter by Guangdong. Why do I mention this? If your supplier is all the way up in the north of China and then they have to ship it to your freight forwarder in the middle of China, like Yiwu, or all the way to the south, like Guangdong, it's going to take more time. So even though you found a supplier that can ship it within 24 to 48 hours, the whole logistics timeline is still long if they're far away from your freight forwarder. So when you find a supplier that it's in the same city as where your freight forwarder is, your shipping agent, then you can cut the logistics time greatly. Actually, if you have a good relationship with a supplier, you can make it so that they can same day ship it to the shipping agents. I've had cases where we need a rush order. We purposely found a supplier in Shenzhen and we're like, we need this now. And they essentially got an Uber, like a Chinese Uber, to go and get them the product immediately. You can't really do that if they're in a completely different city. So that's why I mentioned it as a pro tip that you can choose what region they are. So, ooh, look at that. So here it even has an option when I filter this to go in Guangdong, which includes places like Huizhou, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, like all that. But you get the point. So now it has filtered down to one supplier. And you can see after enough filters, narrow it down tightly. I recommend that you get at least 1 to 3 suppliers on your shortlist to go ahead and continue. So I'm going to click on this specific supplier. Beautiful. And it seems like they have plenty of options. Look at that. They do a lot of things. They can do gangs right there. Anyways, you can have that conversation with them to get what is needed. And here you can see more specifications. Now, once you're at this point, you've already shortlisted your supplier, right? Then there's a couple things you can do to get their contact info. One, if you opened your Alipay account and have a 168 now, you can just simply click on the little blue man right here, little blue food bubble, and you can simply chat with them here. That's one way. Another way, which is going above and beyond and making sure you're vetting and reducing the chances of a scam, is going to their shop profile. So every supplier on the top here, this is their company information. You can simply go here, and then it will just break down all the kind of products these people sell, how long they've been in business. It looks like this is like a smart lock company with experience in some IoT gadgets. You get the idea. And here you have some quite important information. So you can see that this is a strong supplier, that they have a 4-star rating, and they have 24/7 customer service, which is quite nice, especially if you're not in the same time zone as China. But let's go a step further. Let's see here. You can see that they're rated 5 A's, which is high in 1688. Their response rate is about 52%. Maybe they have those relationships with certain buyers that buy supplies each month. That might be why. They were established in Shanghai, and they have the certification to do transactions. But let's go even further. Let's try and get their license information. So to get their license information, you should be able to see it right here. Why is this important? I'll show you why. So as I mentioned, the communication method, you can use the bubble man, or you can use something like this. So here you can see their license information. It probably looks like gibberish to you if you don't read Chinese, but it's okay. Some key points you want to see is their specific location, their address, when they were established. Like, you want to control the risk. You don't want to have a factory that was like established yesterday and work with them. But how can you communicate them with directly on WeChat? And we're going to try this live. Like, I haven't tested this before, so we'll see how this goes. You can get their business number here, essentially their business license number, and this is important, right? In their business license number, there's a third-party website called Tianyancha, right? So you can kind of see right here, right? And then here in the search bar, you can simply put their license number. Drum roll. Okay, you can see it matches. So it has the information here. And if you're using the mobile version, like if you're doing this on a mobile phone, you should be able to see their phone number. Sometimes it doesn't put their phone number. That's why I'm kind of cognizant. Yeah, it seems you need the mobile version. So sometimes, why I'm mentioning this, if you search this number on WeChat, chances are it's a good contact for this specific factory. So you can get direct contact with them on WeChat to discuss pricing. You're able to sometimes also find it on here. So here they have the contact method here on their homepage for their factory. And here they also have phone number. So let's try it. So here, I'm going to try it. I'm going to search for a new contact, add contact, and I'm going to put the phone number that I see here. So let's see, 158. I need a drum roll. Give me the drum roll sound effect. Let's search it. Will you look at that? They even named it. So this is the contact. Now, this isn't to say that this is the right contact, but this is like a loophole to get around from going through finding their WeChat and all that on the website. So that's just a way to get their contact method. And why do I mention that? So you can negotiate with suppliers about the pricing and the terms and conditions. That's one way to get the WeChat that I would kind of sneakily do. Another way is to simply use the bubble chat, and then there's code for WeChat. You can't say WeChat in Chinese, English or Chinese, which is Weixin, because then the algorithm will detect if you're taking the transactions outside 1688, they can get fined, they can get in trouble, the supplier can get in huge trouble. So there's a code, and the code is VX. Now, I'm not sure how long it's going to last. It can either be VX or V space X. Like, do you have, and remember to use Chinese when you're chatting with them, like this. It can be VX, WX, V, capital V, lowercase x. You get the point, but you can't directly say it because it might trigger an algorithm on that. So as you saw, it's definitely more intuitive to use the desktop version to find your perfect supplier when it comes to starting your business idea in China. Do realize that we also provide this service in Borderless Commerce if you need some assistance finding your ideal supplier, and to help you close the entire loop from where the supplier is located all the way to shipping into your destination or your final country that you're planning to sell goods for. We help you with step 0 to step 100 to actually get your business idea started. And if you want to learn how to use 1688 step by step, going through the whole process, not just finding the right supplier and getting in contact with them, but also how to purchase, how to get refunds, how to track your goods, and how to solve any issues you may run into sourcing from China, check out this video right here.